Welcome to No Ideas Original featuring Shannon, Mr. Rob, and Zane. What's up, y'all? What's good?
What's going on, man?
Yo, later in the show, we're gonna have a vote in the comment section and get people's opinion on Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, but you gotta be. Well, we're gonna have to be specific about the location because they have one in Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
Shit, they got a Cracker Barrel in Connecticut too, Rob. You didn't know that?
And Jersey, they got one in Jersey too.
Right across 84.
Yeah. Cracker Barrel just not my shit. It's high quality. Like, not their breakfast is okay, but it's just that it's like I'm not like, you know, high quality. I'd probably take it over IHOP, but for me to set out, like, you said anything better than anything is better than. So you think them how you call it, them dirty Waffle Houses down in Georgia is better than IHOP?
That's the greasy spoon joint. You gotta have a greasy spoon, especially when you come up from like the club or lounge or something.
Waffle House got the old diner setup, son, with the spinning stools and shit.
Them Waffle Houses.
That remind you of like Happy Days and all that. What was it? What's it called back in the Mel Carter? What's it called? Mel Carter?
Mel Carter?
Mel Donna.
Alice.
Yo,
I love. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a G, son. I like IHOP pancakes.
I do too.
That's about it, though.
When I was down in Georgia, I told my wife, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to IHOP and get get some pancakes. But when we went, it was like they got a 30-minute wait. I'm like, yo, how the fuck you got a 30-minute wait during a pandemic?
They gotta clean them tables, man, before they sit your ass.
Yo, that mean that shit overcrowded.
Yeah.
Overcrowded. Yo, what's up? How y'all week been? What y'all been up to?
I've been all right, man. Actually, listening to the Buster album, still in the mood. We're about 90% done, but we're turning that corner. This is gonna be the last weekend in this house that we're in, so we're steadily moving, man. Other than that, that's been it, man. Dialysis is still good.
Yeah.
Still healthy, so.
Yo, you know what I meant to ask you? Do you have like I have like a little ritual that I do when I move from a place or leave a place. I always take a picture of like the front door, like when I leave. Yeah. So like I got like different pictures of like different places that I've lived.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think Tanya realized that, but I got pictures of different like doors or like pictures of where we lived and shit like that.
The only ritual that really is that we don't bring old garbage cans.
That's a good one.
We bring in new garbage cans. There's some things that I didn't want to bring over.
Mm-hmm.
Old coats, old shoes, old stuff like, I want to go into this with the idea of a new. Everything new ideas, new dreams, new thoughts. So I didn't want to bring any old ideas with us. So we did a little bit of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's up with you, Zane? What you been doing this week?
Not much, man. I got back into my collecting baseball and football cards and stuff like that. So I've been really like going to like Targets and Walmart and stuff like that. And
like the bubble gum too?
Nah.
Hey, don't eat that bubble gum, man.
I couldn't find Garbage Pail Kids. If I could find Garbage Pail Kids, I'll start collecting them joints too.
Like gum.
Those Garbage Pail Kids cards are worth something?
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Wow. How about that?
And then my daughter's birthday was on the 3rd. You know what I'm saying? So she had a very, very good birthday or whatever. And
happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Shout out to my daughter Genesis. But yeah, she had a very good birthday. And for the most part, I'm just still trying to navigate through this whole thing with finding out from these 2019 and 2020 baseball cards and all that stuff, because being this COVID stuff is going on. A lot of I've been looking online. They saying that it's just a major craze for it. But Shannon, they used to get collect cards, or you or Kenyatta or Kareem.
Yo, I was just about to tell you, I gotta get with you because I got some heat. I got King Griffey rated rookie.
I got the 89 Don Russ. I got two of them joints.
Yeah, I got that. I got like I got Mark McGwire rookie card.
I got all them things. Jose Canseco. Matter of fact, I got King Griffey Jr.'s post serial rookie card. I got two of them joints. It came in like a It came in that Post cereal box or whatever.
Yo, I'm gonna have a moment right here that I don't know if Zane remember when we was kids, right? We was in Zane house in New Jersey and we was looking at like our baseball cards or something like that. And this nigga Zane had a Lou Brock baseball card. And I remember clowning him like, yo, you got this Lou Brock ass dude, this Lou Brock, this, that. Yo, at that time, I didn't even know, being young and stupid, I think Lou Brock was like the all-time steal leader or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, you know how much that, I don't know if you still got that card, but you know how much that card.
I still got that card.
Yo.
Yeah, I got all my cards, yo.
The Oreo, right?
Shit.
I think the Lou Brock, either that or the Padres, something like that.
I think it was a card. I think it may have been the
Cardinals.
I think so.
Really?
I think so. But I know afterwards it dawned on me. I was like, oh shit, Lou Brock. So he had the Lou Brock joint back then.
Wow.
And then my pops had got my mom has the bat. She keep it in her car, but it's all banged up. Originally I got it like back in, my pops got it like, I think it was in the 80s. He was somewhere, and it's was it Willie Stargell?
Oh wow.
Yeah, but my mom keep it in her car, like it's her weapon. So I actually I kid you not, bro. My mom came into town a couple of days ago to get her nails done, right out here in College Park. So she said, "Hey, what you doing?" So I met up with her. Wow, when I go to the car, she got the bat in the back seat, the Willie Stargell joint autograph, and the joint is all scratched up.
Willie
Stargell.
Wow, son.
Damn.
And I had got that like in the early 80s.
That was those were 70s
like
guys right there. Willie
Stargell.
Man.
Yeah. But no, I think my favorite cards right now was the Lamar Jackson rookies. I got 4 of them. The rated rookie for
I never got into collecting anything outside of baseball cards. And the reason why I have my baseball cards is because I put them in the sheets and I just left them. And I didn't even think about it till a couple of weeks ago. My youngest son was he had bought some Pokemon cards to flip.
I heard those is big too.
Yeah, he flipped them, and then somehow I was like, "Yo, wait a minute." My wife was like, "Yo, don't you got baseball cards laying around somewhere?" So I was like, "Yo, matter of fact, I do," or whatever. So I pulled them out. I was just looking through to be like, "Let me see what I got again." I was like, "Oh, yeah, I probably got some stuff in here worth some bread."
The card game.
Since you said you got that Ken Griffey, that's worth money, bro. Depending upon what company of the card is.
Yeah, Don Russ, rated rookie.
Yeah, that's the one I got. Yeah, he got it. He's holding it back like this. Yep. He got the helmet on and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, the card game is the serious jewel. If you're into it, man, you gotta follow.
Yeah.
You ever got into it, Rob? You ever started collecting?
I got into it early when I was a kid, but then as I got older, I just thought it was just pastime, so I got rid of a lot of cards. But I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Me being a big Yankee fan, I had a lot of Red Sox cards, Yankee cards, old Cal Ripken cards.
Look at that.
You brought back Willie Stargell. I remember having Bucky Dent, Rick Cerrone, Greg Nettles. I had a lot of Yankee stuff, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Willie Randolph, Bucky Dent, Ron Guidry, Goose Gossage.
Damn.
Yo, Rob, you done threw thousands of dollars away, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Yo, listen, man. And like I said, that's why I said that you eat the gum, because I used to collect cards for the fucking gum.
No. Now, the best gum back then to me, Shanam and Rob, I'm sure you probably would agree, is probably Big League Chew. The purple, you had the red one, you had the green one. And that was back when I was collecting Garbage Pail Kids. I was living on East 223rd Street at the time.
Yeah.
Well, my mouth.
I love the Big League Chew, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo. So this week, I don't know if you guys had the chance to check it out yet, but I definitely the sports, No Ideas Original Sports dude. Their interview with Terrence Munch Williams was fire. I watched that, and then on the past Saturday, I watched that Tank and Leo Santa Cruz fight. Yo,
oh my God!
Yo, that was a hell of a fight. I mean, after a while, I seen the tide of the fight turning. Like probably like the 4th round, I've seen. I'm like, all right, yo, Tank is really starting to impose his will, and you could tell that he's physically stronger than him. So it's only gonna be a matter of time because Leo Santa Cruz, the heart of a warrior, want to go toe to toe. And sure enough, yo, he slumped that boy.
One
You
shot.
know what? You know what was so funny? Now go ahead, Rob.
One shot, one kill. That's it.
Yeah, cause yo, I was we was watching the fight, right? So I'm saying it's gonna be 7, but for some reason I was thinking that this other dude was gonna win. Cause going into that fight, that I only saw Gervonta Davis, aka Tank, fight. That was his 4th fight that I ever saw. But I never knew this dude is like 24-0 with 23 knockouts.
Yeah, yo,
Or is he 25-0 with 24 knockouts now?
I think he got about 21 knockouts. I think probably.
No, it was more than that, bro. It was like 24-0 with 23 knockouts. I think that was going into the fight or after the fight. And I was like, what? They said Mike Tyson's percentage wasn't even like that.
Homeboy,
that's crazy.
He was the punch, and he had the leverage in the arm distance. That's why I was like, I don't know if he hit him with one good shot, but that fucking uppercut, I've never.
Yo, that took the soul out of him, yo. But Tank to me and like right before he did that, man, it was me, Celeste, B, and a couple other people over here watching the fight, right? So to me, like right before,
out for me, yo.
Huh?
Shout out B-side for me.
B.
Oh, hey, B.
What up, Celeste?
Yeah, they should be tuning in. Right before Gervonta Davis threw that left uppercut, I was like, yo, this dude looked tired. And that's when he did it. I'm thinking that, I was thinking Tank looked like he was kind of fatigued or whatever for some reason.
That's the downfall of rap on Tank. Like, yo, his conditioning is always a question, like making weight and shit like that. It's always a question. Yo, low key, I think tomorrow Devin Haney fight. Devin Haney.
That's who it is, Devin Haney. I was just telling B a couple of hours ago. I said it's a big fight tomorrow. I couldn't remember who the person's name was. So Devin Haney fights tomorrow.
Yeah, and then Kenyatta was telling me, and I was reading about it, that you see Canelo parted ways with DAZN and Golden Boy, and he a free agent.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a free agent. And I think they're talking about December. Caleb Plant, PBC, coming to Al Heyman, get that bag.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's gonna be huge.
Yo, so big things going on in the sports sector. I guess we could probably leave that for the sports brethren for them to kick up that, talk about that. Yo, let's start off the show with what's been on everybody's mind all week. Election night has turned into election week, and here's the thing, right? I think all of us anticipated that this wouldn't be resolved in one night, and that it'd be ongoing. But here we are, 4 or 5 days in, and same thing.
Yo, son, it's I don't even know. It's this election is an emotional election. Between Michigan, shit in Florida, Arizona, all these things, Trump filing a lawsuit, this nigga's a sore loser. But yo, I think this is a fear-based election, man. I think, being minorities of black people, we usually vote in insecurity. We really don't know what these candidates have in line for us becoming presidents. And, it became more of a not root for Biden, but get Trump out of office. And I think that being the emotional aspect of it, but also from a feminist standpoint, more Caucasian women voted for Trump. A lot more liberal feminist women voted for Trump, and the idea of that is that white women could not stand seeing a black woman 4 years closer to becoming a president if Biden ends up with dementia or some shit. Like, they're going for it, but I think
keep going for a second. I gotta step out for a second, but keep going.
Security, I think security became the base for where the country is looking at it, like, going forward. And I think from a Caucasian standpoint, white women were like, yo, I'm keeping the base of the security of the country. I'm a sticker with my own. So they started to follow Trump, which I thought was kind of different, man.
Yeah, especially for, I mean, you definitely put up a lot of good points. And I was thinking, especially how people know of, the different comments that Trump had made when, he thought the mics was off or behind the scenes and, chauvinistic type of comments and stuff like that. But that goes to prove, bro, like you said earlier, a lot of these Caucasian women, they would rather keep a male chauvinist in office than to have a black woman, on
Right.
any type of platform to
And
where,
the reason for that, Zane, is that they were keeping close to home. Now, both of these individuals are Caucasian males, but who knows the Caucasian male better than the white woman? She knows both facets of these individuals, but because Trump is who he is and the image that he's already castigated upon people are Biden has still got beef with the black man because of the crime bill of the 90s. That situation is still haunting the male man. And a lot of male men, what I mean, they're like, this nigga, sent niggas to jail. Niggas is just coming home from jail because of Biden. Real talk, man. And like I said, I just think this voting situation just became a little emotional, and I know how people vote out of insecurity. They just want to be safe, and their safest, and I guess their safest way of voting this year is voting Trump out of office because of his accusations and his moves and the things he's been doing, and you can see he's clearly a white supremacist. You put him at the top of the heap for another 4 years. Who knows what this country is going to turn into? But with Biden, we still don't know what the country's going to turn into. And this is my thing.
Yeah, I think that this election to me, like I listened to the exit polls really closely, and what I heard from the exit polls was, to me, it was surprising, because the exit polls told me that people weren't really as concerned about Trump's managing of COVID as what I thought they would be. Clearly, what Joe Biden thought they would be also, because the Democrats spent a significant amount of time beating up Donald Trump about his management of COVID. And the other thing, that was like, they had a list of 6. His management of COVID may have been number 4. Number 5, I think, was racial equality, right? Number 1, I think, was the economy. Number 2 was healthcare. Forget what number 3 was. And I forget number 6. But this stood out to me, because I'm like, these are the two biggest things that have happened this year.
Right.
Everything that's been going on with COVID, and everything that's been going on in terms of racial inequality, and people that come out the polls and talk to the press about why they voted and who they voted for had nothing to do with those two things. So I looked at that and I was like, damn, that tells me that, this race was more so an indictment on Trump and how people feel about Trump, right?
Right.
I don't think that people care so much for Biden more than they actually dislike Donald Trump.
Right, and because they don't. What is it that they know about Biden? All they know is about
that he's not Donald Trump.
Right, and the 90s crime bill.
Yeah, that he's not Donald Trump. But I think I was sharing this with you last week, Rob, and I was saying that I was having a conversation with my father-in-law, and we were talking about the crime bill. He was in law enforcement for many years, and he was saying, which I had already knew. He was saying that at that time too, with the crime bill, that were crime being rampant, he was like, there's a lot of people in our communities that were really on politicians about cracking down on crime and doing stuff, to try to take back their neighborhoods.
Yeah, if you know, in the 90s back then, there wasn't no light years when crack was in business.
Yeah, that crack, crack hit the hood, and crack was
Crazy, son.
had a significant impact. But just a couple of things that really that stand out to me also from this election, right? So Donald Trump is really going to be his own demise because he delegitimized the whole mail-in vote process, and now that's what's coming back to haunt him. He told all his supporters, go to the polls and vote for me, and discredited everything that had to do with these mail-in ballots. Whereas Joe Biden's message and the Democrats' message was, go out and vote, but hey, if you can't vote, mail in your ballot. So now they're looking at all these ballots coming in, and they're getting the true number in terms of what the actual votes are. And now all of a sudden, Donald Trump is still stuck in that position of attempting to delegitimize these votes. And it's honestly it's really dangerous rhetoric, because everything that he's doing right now, like even by getting on TV and saying, like stop the vote, and this people are trying to steal an election and all that. The U.S. has really spent time going into other foreign countries over stuff like this because they felt like dictators and people that were running these other countries were preventing the democracy. And here it is, our president of the U.S. is now preventing democracy. To me, I look at it like, honestly, Donald Trump, this is a situation where Donald Trump, he doesn't have an OG, right? All of us in our life, all three of us, I'm sure we got somebody in our life that could tap us on the shoulder and be like, yo, Rob, it's a wrap. Bring it on home or whatever. It's over. Right. And there's nobody with balls from the Republicans to tap him on the shoulder and be like, yo, bro, you just got to concede and let this one go and just leave it at that. Because all this stuff about delegitimizing the election and the voting process and all this stuff or whatever, to me is just groveling, and it makes no sense. It's not helpful for anything at this point. It's stoking fear and violence and division.
Yeah, and like I said, this is a fear-based election, man, and it's more castigated on getting him out than actually what are we voting in?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You clearly know what Biden's agenda is. Now, if you know the United States, any of these presidents, their first responsibility, and I say all the time, is Israel. They're gonna send a check to Israel as soon as anything goes in the inauguration. So when it comes to minorities, and I think it was early 1700s where they had some sort of minority act where people could come, as long as they were white, they could come to this country and benefit from the fruits of their labor in this country. But then you have other minorities such as Japanese, Koreans, all sorts of Asians, people from the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. They get a little leg up when they come to this country versus those who are from this country. You know what I'm saying? With the benefits of having home ownership and property ownership and opening up businesses. These guys, you know what I'm saying? They all voted for Trump. That's why I think people were mad with most of the Hispanic community down in Florida voting for Trump. But you got to remember, these people are coming to this country and they're looking at Trump as this guy knows money. He's the reason why I came to this country, so I can be like him.
Yo, but you know what? Even that in itself, though, Rob, if people actually took the time and vetted and looked at his financial dealings, that dude has filed bankruptcy on several occasions.
1,000 times.
He ruined Atlantic City.
But who reads? Who does research? People make their decisions based on what they see on the surface, man. This guy is a television personality, and you hear that name Trump. You've been hearing that name Trump for so long, and that name was associated with the idea of money. So you get someone coming to this country from Nigeria, from any other country, looking for that golden cup, for that way of living, that American living. They associate that shit with Trump. They don't know who Biden is.
Donald Trump fighting to stay in office because he's fearful of an indictment. But
if
he didn't have that potential indictment hanging over his head, like Donald Trump, he may not be the president per se, as what the electoral college is going to say, but his following is not going to go away, man. Like he's going to have those followers, and it puts Republicans in a difficult position, right? Because you want to distance yourself from him right now because he looks crazy, but Clearly, yo, he could bring. Yo, look at how many people he got to vote for him.
Yeah.
Like he speaks to his base. He has a base. He could drum up votes for people. And the sad thing about it, yo, check this out. The people, if you look at the ticket, the Republicans in the Senate all are on pace to get reelected. So other people looked and was like, you know what? I could deal with all these other Republican people. It's his ass that I want out.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly.
I tell you what, though, man, I knew it was gonna be a problem for him. Once you know, it was a known fact that George Bush Sr. didn't like him. And you know how much pull George Bush Sr. has. So when you got one of the honchos that
him and George Bush Sr. what they was competing to see who could be the worst one-term president.
Right. You know, it was crazy, bro. So once I saw that, and once I saw that Trump he was saying that, or I guess it's evident that he vowed not to get paid. And I think that was a very smart move by him. That's why he gets away with so much stuff, because if you're the president, but you're not quote unquote taking that salary, and really they don't have that much control over you. I mean, they do. I mean, of course, presidents are the puppets, they have higher ups, but it's more stuff that Trump can get away with, being that he's not getting that salary as far as being president.
Well, here's the thing to think about. The salary is what, 200 some grand, 300
yeah, like
grand?
420 grand or something like that. Something like that.
No, so the salary associated with the job for him doesn't mean anything. Remember, this dude, he's living rent free, expense free, private jet everywhere you go, anything you want to do for 4 years. Yo, one of the perks of being an elected official, I have read somewhere, is I think that they get health care. All this bickering over health care, I think public officials get health care for life. Yeah. So
and he gets the Secret Service following his bitch ass everywhere you go now too for life.
Yeah.
Yo, Trump wanted to be a dictator. That's all.
Yeah.
He just want to run shit.
Yo.
Plus, I always looked at it like, like no other president that we know have ever been on and used Twitter as a major platform. I'm like, like, is this dude really tweeting and stuff, or he has somebody that's doing this? Because
you know why though?
It's crazy.
You know why? Because he uses Twitter, because Twitter is the same reason why people use Instagram and everything else, is direct to consumer, direct to his audience. There's no filter. When you got to go to a show, you know, like these shows, they have the ability. You just think. Recently, he did that interview with 60 Minutes and had a meltdown. You can't control the narrative, but if you go in directly to your base and the people you speak to, you are anything you say, God to them.
And you can see it on the map. That's Middle America. All them red states is Middle America. That's them country Caucasian, Anglo-Saxon Protestant males and their wives. They've been waiting for someone like Trump to step up and speak their language, man. And this country is still heavy in a divide, man. Heavy.
Do you guys see that this could be a antecedent to a potential race war, or you think it's more fear mongering through the different media platforms?
That's always been on the table. If you ask
That's what I was gonna say. I think that existed prior to even with Trump coming in. I just think that like there's been so much going on now that there's heightened sense and heightened awareness around these things. But you know, like I maintained for the longest that I think that once they finally do call this, that there's going to be some sort of uprising and revolt. People are going to be upset if Biden wins. People will be upset if Trump wins. And people, I think, are going to be even more upset if Trump tries to use the legal muscle to try to change the election. Because right now, everybody know who has faith in the political process right now, especially us as Black people. We don't have no damn faith in the political process. So if this man can use the courts, that the people he appointed and put in courts to manipulate the election, that's really concerning, man.
And you know, the one thing that I'm glad you brought that up about people to get mad whether if Trump get elected or if Biden get elected, right? Me and B was talking about this earlier, and so what are the terms where Pelosi can become president?
Oh, that's far down the line. I was saying last week's episode that in the event of a tie, the House gets to pick the president, the Senate gets to pick the vice president. So it'd be conceivable that the House, the House would pick somebody, pick Biden, the Senate would pick Pence or whatever it is. But the way this is going, this ain't going to no tie.
You don't think it's going to no tie?
Be a clear loser.
So
clear winner.
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
Be a clear loser and a clear winner, and the instigation of if this person wins, this is going to happen. This person wins, that's going to happen. Listen, honestly, these are Caucasians. This is their voting process. This is their voting system. Are we a part of it? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, who is going to affect are those who's at war with one another. It ain't really going to affect us to a certain degree because at the end of the day, you and I, all of us know the environment that we've come from and all these presidents, how much has changed.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
Every opportunity that we have to this day, we've taken the opportunity of taking ourselves out of the equation and just make our lives better by our efforts. Not by any affiliation of what the president has done for each and every one of us. We've took the bull by the horn and made our lives the way we've made our lives. And I think as a people, that's what we need to continue to do. Yeah, go vote, whether Republican or Democrat. Go do your service. And don't believe in the whole, my ancestors died so you can vote. Don't believe that shit. My ancestors died for freedom. Period. My ancestors died whistling at white women. How about that? My ancestors died when we tried to become uppity, as they call us, or stush, or having our chest higher. We think we know what we doing. We was getting killed for that. Nigga, we was getting killed because we were landowners and property owners. That's what my ancestors died for. You know what I'm saying? So once the election wins, once the election is over, whoever wins, they'll go back to paying attention to your family. Go back to doing something for your community. Go back to whatever it is that you focused on prior to the election and stay there. Don't get into a war with Democrat, Republican. Like I tell you, they're two wings of the same bird, man.
You know what?
Of the same canine. One's a fox, the other one's a wolf.
You know what? You know what I would say though. Like I'd like to see honestly people just keep the same energy and the same level of excitement they have. Like people get excited around these presidential elections, and then after the president is determined, they don't call it like, yo, they take, keep your foot. If Joe Biden win, keep your foot on his neck. What about all those promises you made when you was on the campaign trail? If Trump comes back and steals this, put your foot on his neck. Like people just tap in. They tap in for a minute, for a moment, capture the moment because it's a fad or whatever, and people are excited about it. And then afterwards, they ghost. Like right now, if we were to poll people and be like, yo, who's your local senator? Who's the senator in your state? Who's your congressperson and stuff? People don't have that level of interest. This is right now is just a talking point in the end. So that's why everybody is so engaged and weighing in on it. Like, truth be told, once this is all said and done, CNN, Fox, all these people, MSNBC, their ratings, they're getting the best ratings they ever got. So the longer they string this out without calling this election, it's much more beneficial for them.
That's right. It's a numbers game, man. That's what we do.
How long you think this is gonna go out to? How long you think it's gonna delay?
Well, look, let me say this. There's two ways to look at this, right? How long do I think before one of the major media outlets actually call Pennsylvania for Joe Biden, or how long do I think before Donald Trump is forced to come to the realization that he's not going to win? Which one are we talking about? Both? The media?
Both.
I would say within the next 2 or 3 days, the media is going to call Pennsylvania for Joe Biden and declare Joe Biden the winner. Like I can see that happen. There's a potential for that to probably happen late tonight. If not late tonight, tomorrow. So like I said, maybe 2-3 days tops. Donald Trump actually accepting that he didn't win, that's going to be weeks. That's going to be weeks. That's going to be all the way through December until like literally, because he's going to have this in the courts. And what people don't understand about the court stuff is legally, in order for he has the right to request recounts. He has the right to seek legal action. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing is when you get in the court, you have to be able to prove that there was something done illegally.
Right.
And there's not anything that he's able to prove that's been done illegally. You know what he's using methods that he's probably used in business by bullying people with lawyers to get people to bend his will. You know,
he plays the leverage game. He knows those leverages and he uses that to his advantage. Yes, sir.
But here's where I think that he's in trouble with lawyers at this point. As corrupt as the country may be, there's checks and balances put in place, right? And there's process and methodology behind all this stuff. So the more he continues to attempt to delegitimize the election, all these other people are factors. It's not only about the liberals anymore. Now the Republicans are side-eyeing you, looking at you like, yo, wait a minute, you over here talking about our great Constitution and everything we stand for and this wonderful democracy is a hoax. You know, like it just doesn't work that way. Think about every time that Trump has been put on the hot seat, it's always been gone to some type of litigation, right? Like even now with the taxes. People ask this man for taxes for 4 years. Yo, I'm getting audited. Why? Because he constantly has his attorneys trying to muddy the water. The only difference is you could probably beat the IRS away for some time before they actually make you reveal your taxes or they get their hands on, you know, whatever it is, or the American people get their information on it. But the courts right now. He doesn't have a legal standing right now. And that's why I said he need an OG. He needs somebody to tap him on the shoulder and be like, yo, bro, you need to concede. And you need to really start thinking about what your legal strategy is when the other courts come after you.
I think the OGs that ran from him like this nigga. Nothing tell him. He's gonna fuck up. He ain't gonna listen to us. That's it.
Yeah. What basically happens if Trump don't concede? Like what's the end game?
I think we about to find out.
That's I'm thinking that's when Pelosi come into it.
And do what? What? Throw hands with him?
Yeah.
Nah, they can't. Yo, they can't. I think what's going to end up happening is honestly by hook or by crook. Like they gonna end up removing him out of there. You know, the thing is, if Donald Trump could get his legal situation in place to prevent or to help him with these pending indictments, then Donald Trump is going to be able to monetize his name for so long. You think everybody else can wrote a book and made money off of him? He should be thinking about right now writing his own book. Yo, you know the Apprentice show is going to be a next level. He's going to be able to slap his name on all kind of stuff. Yo,
Donald Trump don't know how they do it in the DMV when they evict niggas out. They put your shit on the street.
Put it on the curb. Put it on the
curb. How about this though? Being that there's no finalization of who the president actually is because all of this nonsense that's going on, what's stopping him from passing other or some crazy executive order stuff that's just like, you know, stuff that we know or that everybody knows is going to stir up a lot of other things. Like what's stopping him from doing that?
I wouldn't put nothing past Trump.
He can I think that's what's going to happen. I say by like
war. He can start a world war right now if he wanted to.
Let me
try to at least.
Let me say this though, to be fair to him though, right? To be fair to him. Because right now, just think about what Zane just said. Zane said, yo, what's stopping him from doing anything? What stops any president when they know that their term is up? Even when you're a two-term president, you're a lame duck president, what stops them from doing anything? Why do you think all these people get pardoned and all this stuff and people start doing all kind of stuff that previously they couldn't do? Like when you're not up for re-election, it don't matter. It's almost like I'm getting fired.
Try to leave, man.
Yeah, so... yeah, you're right. You know, he could be reckless and he could be a loose cannon. But I think, you know, honestly, what probably will to a degree help manage some of it is he's still a brand and he's still a business. And he got a following, man. There's a lot of money. Not that he needs to figure out, you know, because the guy is good at monetizing stuff. He slaps his name on all these buildings and all this stuff. So, but there's a lot of money to be made from
his following might get bigger right after this presidency. He'll be open up to do so much business with so many different people.
Yo, right. If this wasn't 2020 Don't this kind of feel like almost like civil war? Like, all right, this is the union or whatever. Like, it's a real divide. It's a very real divide, you know. And somebody was saying to me the other day, they was like, you know, do I think with Joe Biden becoming president that's going to fix the divide? I'm like, nah, I don't think it's going to fix it overnight. But I definitely think that prior to Donald Trump coming along, there wasn't so much energy put into these damn Democrats, these damn Republicans. This is a red state, a blue state, or this that. Like he's really done a lot to drive a wedge between people in the country. You know, so
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So honestly, I my personal opinion is that I just think that I would love for somebody to step in and tell them like, yo, you need you gotta concede and let this one go. I would love to.
Don't be a sore loser, man, and don't hold up nothing in the White House because you don't want to leave and nothing.
Yo, can you imagine how many people right now is good that's in the White House that's going to be out of a job?
Yeah.
And your name is dirt. Your name is dirt because you stood next to him and you co-signed him and went along with this stuff. Who is going to want to hire you?
And his whole 4-year campaign has been based on fear, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, you missing one thing. It's not only fear; it's another thing. Lies.
Yeah. That's the American culture, boy. Lies.
Guys, yo, dude, this dude's. Yo, some of the terminology I've heard recently for him to describe him, I'm like, yeah, this is foul. It's like, you know, the president has issues with the truth, or the president, what they said, the president can be overly committed to his own opinion. I guess that's why, Kellyanne Conway said that there are alternative facts.
Exactly. Lying ass thing.
Oh, man, yo. Crazy.
I'm glad when it's over. And
yeah.
I guess we can get back to business as usual, but it's beyond a shit show now. It's just like you're dragging it along, like you said. The news stations are probably putting their ratings together. Real issues need to be challenged in this country. Mm-hmm. Racism being one of them. Let's cut the bullshit with the racism. You hate me for what? Why? You don't have no real reason other than how I look and the things I do. You can't keep redlining people and marginalizing people that want to grow. And that's why I said, after this election, we as a people need to focus on ourselves. That's it. Build whatever you got going on in your personal space. Find something new to do. A lot of different things, man. And I think our next segue into what we're talking about next, as far as, you know, working together.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers got to get back to doing that, man. Whether it's 2 of us or 10 of us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Start using your resources wisely, man.
Yes. Let me show this clip to add context to this discussion. Let me see if I could get this to work to load this up.
Go for it.
Let's see. Yeah, can y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Nigga learning, man. Nigga learning. Look at this.
Check it out. So just to frame this discussion for everybody, you know, Fred Jackson, Chad Ochocinco, Brandon Marshall, and Channing Crowder have a podcast called I Am Athlete. And on that podcast, they discuss life after being professional football players. They talk about like finance. They talk about health. They talk about mental health. It just, how you call it? It's just refreshing to see. They talk about sports, of course, too, but it's refreshing to see them talk about something other than sports also. So, you know, I was watching the episode and I came across this clip and I thought this would be something good to really bring to the table for us to discuss on our podcast. So here goes the clip, and then afterwards we'll come back and talk about it.
I think that is something that the NBA players had on the back of their jerseys. I want to say Andre Iguodala had group economics.
Group economics, right.
With the black culture, we don't trust people.
There's a reason why.
Fred, I do hard money loans now. I try to reach out to teammates and friends to say, hey, bro, let's get $500,000 together and we can invest in this hotel. We'll make 18% for the next 10 years on a hotel. We can sell it and get our money back and continue to make money. and dude be like, bro, I ain't giving you 100 grand. I be like,
They
bro,
can't see.
I put my money in there too. Like, I
Because
got 100. We get 5 guys to put 100. We got 600, bro. We can buy a
Because
hotel.
when
Dude was
you've
like, bro,
been
I'm not
deprived,
giving you $100.
when you've been deprived of resources and finances, you can't see past from me to you.
Yes.
Every
I got
other
money.
How about that? Yeah.
That's a major point.
What's the name of that podcast? Or what is it? What's the name of that?
I Am Athlete. It's called I Am Athlete. So group economics and Black people, why are we reluctant to engage in them? Like, and the reason why I say why are we reluctant to engage in them, because I think we all can agree that as Black people in general, like it's a practice that we need to definitely get better at. So I thought it'd be more valuable to have a discussion in terms of what's preventing us from actually engaging in group economics.
The obvious is trust and loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
That's the obvious, and because we're not financially sound in how we use money, we hoard it. We keep it, we stash it, we do what we want of it, and then we just live in this culture. This is a culture of individuals. It's not a culture of collective ideas. The only time you see collective ideas come from other nationalities. I mean, you can look at the Jewish community. That's one group economic community. They 200,000% support one another.
Mm-hmm.
Their dollar.
Actually, not to cut you off, I'm gonna just say this real quick, Rob. The Jewish dollar goes through 16 hands before it goes on the outside
The community.
It stays in their community 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
When Black people get money, it stays in our hands 6 minutes.
Yo, you mentioned lack of trust. You mentioned lack of trust, Rob. But honestly, I think it's lack of trust though for a good reason though too. And the reason why is because
practices. We don't know how to trust one another. Forget about money.
But here's the thing to think about, right? So even on a larger scale, we could talk about like what they're experiencing as professional athletes. So as professional athletes, I'm sure they have people pitching them all the time on, yo, you want to get this record label, you want to go get these houses, my boy's starting up an auto detailing business, whatever it is. They have people pitching them on all this stuff. They're getting financial advisors also. They're getting financial advisors figuring when I'm gonna get somebody that look like me. Those people are raping them, cheating them, and jerking them. Then you go to you go get a white person who you feel like maybe more business oriented. They got your money wrapped up in a Ponzi scheme, whatever. So
so you got all of these. You had
all these experiences already that lead to lack of trust.
But let me just throw some positive in there. So who is the guys that linked up with Jamal Mashburn, where this nigga got 80 car dealerships and 40 Wendy's and 30 McDonald's? And he's made the most money he's ever made after being in the NBA.
Yo, you know who those people are? The same people that like LeBron. When you get the Rich Pauls and the other dudes around you, and you have the right team. Those are people that that. So here's my thinking around it.
That's group economics, though.
Yeah. Look at Vinny Johnson, dude, worth like $400 million.
Here's my thinking around it, right? So if you look at because I think this is also similar to, remember the folks that got together and bought Freedom Land in Georgia.
Okay.
And we reached out to the people from Freedom Land also. We haven't heard back because I definitely want to talk to them. But a lot of times in doing this, what makes it successful is you have to have somebody who has the ability to articulate the vision of what the whole collaboration is about, and you have to have people that's willing to actually buy into the vision. And I think that's why you have the Jamal Mashburns or the LeBron James and people like that of the world that are that they're successful because they have linked up with the right people that understand their vision, and as a result of that, they become a cohesive unit, a team that's collectively working towards that vision.
That's right.
But what happens, I think, sometimes is that people link up with these people not based on a vision, but based on, I want to flip my money, I want to get a fast buck. And to me, it's like sometimes we're victims of instant gratification and we want instant returns, right? So for some people, like, and when I looked at that clip, I'm thinking like he's saying to them, he was like, yo, you know, for like 18 years, you know, like how many brothers you know gonna commit to that? There's some people who like they wouldn't even want to pool their money for 18 days.
Listen, you gotta crawl before you ball, my nigga. Rome was not built in a day. You know what I mean? If you look at the Great Wall of China, that was a 2,000-year idea. So it took 2,000 years for that wall to be built. So if we start thinking now collectively that, yo, we got to pull our resources, man. It's 40 to 50 million of us in this country. There's no reason why we need to be struggling. Because if we all pulled and used group economics, with 40 to 50 million of us in this country, nobody would be struggling. Absolutely no one. But we don't know how to pull shit together. I remember this Mexican family that lived not too far from me when I lived in Owens Mills. They bought a house not too far from where I was living.
Sound like my neighbors. I know where you're going.
Son, it started off with like 4 of them. Then it became like 12 of them. Before you know it, every man in that house had a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
The ladies had cars. They were all living in this one house. Mm-hmm. Before you know it, they bought the house right next to them. I was like, and they don't speak no fucking English. How are they able to do that? Because they know what resources. I think they know how to use resources. You use the power that you got in your house. I remember a brother name is Brother Polite. And this is where I got the idea from. Your home is your corporate America. He's saying, yo, everything that you can do in your house, corporate America does right now. Everything in your fucking house, from your toilet to your kitchen sink. Someone's cleaning someone's cleaning your boardrooms and your offices and your meeting rooms prior to a meeting. That's pretty much you cleaning up your kitchen prior to breakfast being served. Where now you're having dialogue with your family, what's going on with the family. But we don't think like that. We think that these answers are outside our house. So we're not even using group economics in the crib.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it first starts with you and your wife and your children, and y'all come up with an idea which y'all work together for whatever reason it is. You start at home, but then you venture out, like how we ventured out. That's the reason why we on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is a group idea, and you start from there. Whatever the pitch was very short. Yo, Rob, what's up? We stuck in the house. Let's start a podcast. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's do it. And then as we got on, Zane was like, yo, y'all want some people to interview? And here we are on our 44th show. Mm-hmm. Pure ideas. Pure loyalty. Just sticking to one another. Shit bounces off the wall. Some shit sticks, some shit don't. People just don't realize that that's part of the game, man. You got to crawl before you ball, man.
Yeah. We're not process-oriented people, though, for some reason.
I think
we are.
I think
we are. We just don't like the work. We like instant gratification.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think another thing too is that based upon the brothers that we just saw in that clip, it's been so many years that, you know I thought of this. I'm sure probably you, Rob, and also Shannon thought about this. Like, damn, why don't Oprah, Michael Jordan, and Bill Cosby
I always said that.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the main things that it showed that there was not a collective unit that wanted to invest back then. Like, these are some of the biggest stars of the 80s and 70s and still to this day. And I think that's
they left the community, or they left the idea of knowing that there were people like themselves who don't have the opportunities that they have. You know what I mean? And I know brothers to this day. My man Shane is the dribble machine. You know, been on And1 and all that. Started the tournament right in my hood, son. Took all that notoriety of traveling the world and came right back to Boston Road and started a basketball tournament. And it's been running smooth for the last maybe 8 years. And but still bringing the people that he met, all of them notoriety, all of them the people that he met doing the basketball travel, all that traveling. He brings to the court so kids can be like, yo, all right, this is you don't. All right, even if you move out in West Bubblefuck, that's your choice. You have the right to do that, but you can't eliminate where it is that you come from with the idea of saying like, there's no one that needs the help that I got, because I got help.
Right.
So my idea, and I love the idea of the concept of group economics, because I for me personally, I like working in a team oriented atmosphere. You know what I mean? Because I get to learn. Actually, I do learn from the both of you two every time we on this show. That's economics, because it's something that I take away from these shows that I apply in my life here.
Yeah.
And that's more outside of the money about group economics, is learning skills from one another that we might not have had if we didn't have a conversation or talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what impedes us though from fully engaging in it? Well, two things. One, I think that for one, there's always the crabs in the barrel mentality, right? So there's always like this ongoing competition that I think prevents people from pooling resources.
Yes, sir.
And then I think the other thing also about it is like collaboration. Collaboration is easy. And I always tell people this: collaboration is easy in the sense of we working together, and I'm like, you know what, Johnny, can you go move that chair for me? Bet we working together. I'll help you move the chair. Collaboration is easy in that regard, but collaboration of ideas is difficult for people. For people to for people to be able to share ideas or to buy into somebody else's idea and trust. That's what I mean around being a process. Like not everybody is process oriented. Some people want instant gratification, and they don't realize that honestly, the beauty of everything that we do is in the process, right? Yes, like you reap the benefits of whatever it is that you've done later on. But once you think about things that you've accomplished in your life, right? You go back and you're like, oh shit, this experience that I had actually getting to this point is far more value than actually needed. And that's why people continue to reset and try new goals and do different things, because as much as people may not realize it, like, there's beauty in process. And I think that that's what hinders us from sometimes engaging in the group economics, because, people want that
take the long ride home.
People get the instant gratification. And then, what I think the other thing is also, I think not everybody could rebound from the same loss, right? So what for me, when I look at it, and I'm like, what's a $500 loss? To me, I might be like, damn, I lost $500. But high quality for somebody else, they could be like, well, Shannon had me invest $500 in the stock market or whatever it is. The shit didn't pan out. This dude wasted my money, or whatever it is, And then
that comes with risk. If we have a business,
that comes with risk, right? But that's what I mean. Like, is everybody in a position to take risk, right? And what risk? Like risk is different from me than it may be for somebody else. Like even with those dudes sitting around talking about, he's talking about $100,000, right? Look at what's going on right now around us in COVID. There may be a lot of sports players and entertainers that may not have $100,000 liquid cash.
Yes, sir. That's the truth.
Yeah, they may not. And that $100,000, if they do have it, that $100,000 hit or to have that money tied up may really hinder them. They may not be able to, to get through that.
And that's where, financial literacy comes in. I mean, anybody, if you're looking to do anything in a group, you got to make sure all parties involved are on the same accord. And that takes conversation and communication with one another. And I think if we find ourselves in a position where we can do that, to be able to communicate and talk to one another, man, we can go a long way, a very long way. But it starts with trust. It starts with open communication. It starts with being honest. It starts with people being honest with themselves. What you can or you cannot do.
Yeah. What are you willing to do?
What are you willing to
do? The one thing I didn't like, the one thing being that we talked about, brothers investing and stuff like that. The one thing, don't get me wrong, like Damon Dash is a very intelligent individual. He's not smart. He's intelligent. So, of course, that's higher than smart. And he has the business acumen and all that. But when he showed the situation where they was somewhere on stage and he was asking Lee Daniels for the money, and you could tell it was tension on the stage. Like, I always felt that could have been handled a different way. And
Yes,
to me, I just think that Dame Dash just wanted to show like
he's keeping his loyalty to the street to show it. I'm gonna do it
right,
the way. I'm gonna
right.
step in his face and ask you where my bread at, nigga.
Right, and that right there, bro, that was that right there. I definitely didn't agree with that.
Right, because now if I want to do business, because I like a lot of the shit that Dame Dash has to say, but now I have to think, I have to question, would I want to align myself with that type of energy?
Yo, Rob, it's funny you say that because I was just about to put that. I was about to put that out to both of y'all. The question I posed it to folks in the chat too. If right now Dame Dash, we all know Dame Dash business acumen, very intelligent. I agree with everything that you're saying, Zane. If Dame Dash came to you and was like, "Yo, I got a business proposition for you. 10 racks. Give me 10 racks. You could buy in." You know how you call it. He tells you whatever it is, and what I don't know what anybody's financial situation is. But he comes to you and be like, "Yo, 10 grand, you buy in." Would you do it? Based on what you've experienced or what you saw with Dame Dash.
Now,
who want to go first?
Now, honestly, because I know, like I said, the individual.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely do it.
Okay.
You would do it, Rob?
And the reason why I would do it because all the other shit is cosmetic for me with Dame. Dame likes results, so I know coming in, I'm coming with results. So I ain't got to hear the fuck are you doing, nigga? I ain't got to do all that bullshit. Listen, you want results? I'm coming with a result mind frame that's my frame of mind coming into the situation. So for me, and if I got 10 grand as a risk to give up, whether they go yay or nay, I'm doing it.
Well, look, yo, but you kind of changed the trajectory of the question because I didn't say if you had it as a risk, yay or nay. I'm just saying flat out, give me your circumstances.
Right.
You and your lady about to buy a new home, Rob. You got other shit going on. You know how you call it.
You can't get $1,000 from me right now. You couldn't. I got this. And group economics. My wife and I, as a group, you know what I'm saying, have put together the means to go for our first home. So
the business plan for your life together.
Yeah, son, and a lot entailed in that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of I can't go do this, I can't go do that. She was like, "Yo, when that money come in, I need half of that, my nigga." Like, you can't. And that's the thing about group economics too. Sacrifice. What are you willing to give up that you would normally not give up in order to get this goal done? You know what I'm saying? Economics is simply the pulling the resources together, working towards a goal.
Yeah.
Period.
What's
so
up,
you see the goal. You see the goal in sight. That is the goal. And if you're focusing like that's the only direction I'm leading myself to get to, and you got 5 brothers on that same path, by all means, y'all will all be winners, man.
Yeah. What's up, Zane? What about you?
So let me get this question straight. If Dame Dash?
Hold on. Before you go, again, yo, for the folks that's in the chat, you let me know. You got 10 stacks. Dame Dash comes to you and say, you know what? I have this great investment opportunity. All it costs is 10 stacks to buy in. Are you giving the 10 stacks to Dame Dash? That's the question, Zane.
Well, number one, I don't think it'll happen because Dame Dash is if you ain't putting 100% of your own money in it, then you ain't a boss. So, but if Dame Dash did say he had a business opportunity, I would say yes, but I would have to sign a contract with him. The contract, the steak and potatoes of that contract will basically say if XYZ does not work out, you're not gonna bash my name and go on. No. The reason why is because number one, that might hinder me from getting other business deals down the line with any other person that wants to come to me or I want to come to them.
So hold on, Zane. Let me stop you there. Let me say this, because you and I almost close to the same place because we're thinking relationship, right?
Right.
You're thinking, and I appreciate this. You're saying Dame Dash has this business acumen and there's the potential to make this money with him. But if it goes awry, I'm cool with losing the money, but I want to maintain a relationship. But let me ask you this. Do you think that your relationship to begin with would be in jeopardy partnering with him?
Yes.
So why would you be unwilling? Why would you make him sign a contract stating that if the business doesn't work out, he won't jeopardize your relationship if already you're entering into that venture, knowing that your name is going to take a hit for being associated with him as a business partner?
Because Dame Dash is very cunning. He's a businessman, and when you're a businessman, that doesn't mean that you do. It means three things: you're unfair, you're fair, or you're a shark. Mm-hmm. Those are the only three options, right? And in business, as we see in corporate America, or we see in politics and all that, 9 times out of 10, people get burnt over. Like you have Jeff Bezos. That doesn't mean that Jeff Bezos came up with the intellectual property of everything that he did after when he started from selling books. Come on now. Mm-hmm. So and all these other different acquisitions that Jeff Bezos has for these companies, he invested like 28 other companies that's coming out that's gonna have IPOs. But anyway, back to Dame Dash. The main reason is that this dude has a crazy paper trail. I mean, the situation with Jay-Z, the situation with Lee Daniels, the situation with Rachel Roy. Now, come on. If he's gonna burn his baby mom, or he's gonna burn one of the people that he made hundreds of millions of dollars with and talk shit about them, he don't give a damn about talking shit about me over some 10 grand.
So again,
I can see Dave Dash like, that fucking Zane. That fucking Zane.
So again, right. So again, I go back to why is it that we would feel inclined to enter into this business venture with him? Because based on the fact that we feel that he's a successful businessman, based on what he says, like, would any of us vet him? Would we vet him? Or are we only going by we seen what Rockaway and Rockefeller has done?
The only thing that been a success was the stuff that he was with, that was aligned with Jay-Z and with Kareem Biggs. Don't get me wrong. Dame Dash is selling oil. Dame Dash has Dusko whiskey. He is Dame Dash Studios, but nothing really like is on the forefront of anything right now.
None of what he's doing has sensationalized the public to say, Dame Dash is back in the same lighting that he was in before. I think he's hurt himself by his behavior and his mannerisms that, right. I want to do business with him. I mean,
those tantrums,
but keeping it real, the reason why I would say it is because you know what you're getting yourself into. Now, Dame Dash, he may not look to us like the individual, like a Kareem Biggs in the business that he's doing, because he's doing a lot of business too. There's a lot of guys who are doing business outside of the music industry per se, that are making good money, and Dame is one of them. And I think he's realized that he doesn't need to be in the public eye to make money, to seem like he got money or be successful. He knows that backstage money looking real good to Dame.
So again, I pose the question for people that's in the chat. You got Dame Dash. We're talking about group economics. Dame Dash comes to you and says, hey, I have this great business venture, and for you to buy in, all I need is $10,000 from you. Based on whatever your financial situation is now, would you give Dame Dash that $10,000 to invest? And if so, why?
Right. One more thing I wanted to add to that, Shannon, is that if it's like whether it's dealing with tech or a fast food business, I would have to know what the competition is. I would have to know if it's something that.
Think from the premise of group economics with that question, like
Nah, I like that. That'll be my main thing. I would have to sign a contract with the dude for that, for the 10 grand that I'm about to put into whatever idea he has. Because if it goes wrong, I don't want to be on every YouTube channel and He's on Vlad TV or whatever. Talking about Zane Henderson. Zane Henderson, come on, man. I don't want to go through that.
You looking to get blackballed like choke no joke.
Right.
Mad because Dave Dash will.
Oh, Choke, man. Choke be having the funniest stuff on there, man.
Let me tell you my response to it. So Zane, I appreciate what you're saying, Zane, because Zane is like, I want to sign a contract with him to protect my reputation. To me, it would have the return on that 10,000 would have to be so great that I would be like, you know what? I'm not worried about my reputation. But if he told me you put in 10 grand and then there's a potential you get 15 grand back, whatever, I wouldn't do it. You know why? Because I would be thinking about that would prevent me from getting these other deals, right, you know, based on my working relationship. And that's not to say that I think Dame Dash is brilliant in business. You know, I think he's a brilliant businessman. I think from a relationship standpoint, which is a significant portion of business relationship, that I think that he keeps blowing out these relationships, or he's operating from the perspective of hierarchy, right? So when Dame Dash was at the height of his success, he was up here. And when you're up here, you could talk and say whatever you want because you generating and making all this revenue for people, you know, and you making all this money. But now the dynamic has shifted, and now he's probably, before people were probably coming to him looking to partner with him. Now, I'm sure the dynamic has shifted where potentially he's like, I want to partner with somebody. I'm a boss. Here's something that we could do together. We could partner together. And I think that with that being said, like I really, it would have to be something that was really, really lucrative for me to get involved with him, because I would feel that it would run the potential of killing other deals. Like, who have you seen recently get in bed with him and do any deals? Reputable people.
Well, I mean, like I said, the people that are dealing with Dame are not in the forefront. It's behind the scenes. Even, you know.
But Rob, let me ask you this: when
Kanye was the only one that I know of.
When huge mergers in corporate America, when huge mergers and acquisitions occur, they do a press release. Why?
They gotta let you know what you about to walk into.
Yeah,
they need to tell you everything about this company, from the money they made to the people they stole from. They got to tell you everything that's involved.
And
that press release is almost like a sales pitch. This is what you're getting. This is what the company is about. This is what they're offering, and that's one of the reasons why when I lost my second kidney, kind of off the topic, I thought I was getting the same benefit package going into the next company, and I didn't. I had no package at all. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go outside out in the world and get my own benefits package, unbeknownst from the company I was working for. So when a merger happens, two things happen. You have the option not to be a part of the merger, or you have to concede in what this person is offering for you, and there's a small window for negotiation. You're just merging into another company. You know what I mean? You don't have the leverage to say, all right, if now I'm coming over here, can I get $5 extra grand in my salary? Because I know the work that I'm bringing to the table is going to do X, Y, and Z for you in over a certain amount of years. So can I negotiate another salary?
Big money deals though. Deals are announced because people want that to be public knowledge that they winning, right? Same reason why when them sports players get them contracts and stuff like that, it becomes public knowledge. So I just brought that up because you said, you know, he's doing his deals behind the scene. So he hasn't done the deal behind the scene yet that he feels is the deal that should be in public view for everybody, right? Because if it was a monumental deal or something that he felt really great about, come on, we've seen Dame's personality for years.
Think you'll put it on blast?
Oh yeah.
That's when we turn to Champagne Dame again. He'll be having the little bottles in his hand and all that.
He wouldn't be wrong for doing it. He wouldn't be wrong if right now Dame Dash sold Dash Studios to Netflix for $100 million, and you don't think he announced like, I just sold Dash that studio.
They make it seem like, yeah, Netflix just threw me a bag for about 100 mil, but it wasn't nothing.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know,
right,
I can tell you exactly what he was saying. I built it up and I sold it. I got this 100 million. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna reinvest it in the next business and do something else with it. Which there's nothing wrong with that.
That's not wrong.
Right.
There's nothing wrong. That's what I said. Like Dame Dash to me is like, yo, he's a smart dude, a great business cat, you know. But again, like bringing it back to group economics, like I think that is the reason why that us as Black people, like we sometimes are fearful about doing these kind of things because, you know, like we're concerned about what relationships people have with other people. We're concerned about what the return on our investment is going to be. We're concerned about what's the timeliness of the return on the investment. We've been burned by people that have been close to us. Like you hear these stories of people coming into a couple of dollars and, you know, they're getting robbed by people that they grew up with their whole life.
Yeah,
I tell you what, though, is one thing that Cuz sent me. Your older brother Kenyatta sent me the other day, and he was showing me the link for the investing in having your own Floyd Mayweather training camp. Jim.
Yeah.
That looks like something that is going to pop off. Like that's pretty lucrative.
Yeah. Let me say this, and then we should transition to fatherhood. One other last note I had about group economics also is I think that for us, in terms of putting group economics together, you know, and us doing the stuff, that we have to realize that ideas are ideas, but also we have to sometimes formalize those ideas and have business plans to further, you know, to cultivate the ideas. Like it can't just be, you know, me going to my man and being like, yo, I really like music. Yo, give me 25,000 so I could build a studio or whatever, you know, like
you gotta talk it out, man. You gotta talk it out. You gotta put it in plain sense so it makes it. People have to see it, and that's the thing about pitching, you know, and using words carefully because you want people to see the vision and see themselves in the vision. I mean, I think I was maybe 19 going on 20. A buddy of mine moved up to Utica, New York, opened up a like a convenience store. I mean, we sold. This is when we were selling Carl Kanai and Paco and used jeans and shit like that. But the store was a pretty much a novelty store where we sold clothes, we sold handmade jewelry, we sold oils, we sold mixtapes, we sold books, so all that. You know what I'm saying? And we're watching money come in and coming out. We were only getting $100 a week. So some of us felt like, yo, son, that Carl Kanai suit just all four of them students went out this door, $250 a piece. Could we get a piece of that?
Mm-hmm.
The thing you got to realize is that when you're opening up a business such as like a store or something like that, yo, all that money you make go right back into the business.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But this is the era that wasn't explained to us. It was explained that we can leave the Bronx, go to Utica, so we can make some money.
They just never said how much.
They never said how much. You know what I'm saying? But then as you learn about business that, you know, the money that you're making goes right back into the business. Because now when people come in, we can put something at the storefront, lights, whatever it is that's drawing attraction to the business. So I may not get that $100 that Friday. I might get $75. You know what I'm saying? Because that whatever that $25 I would normally get, that might have went back to a better register.
Mm-hmm.
Or the way money is being exchanged now with cards and swipes and all this other stuff, you got to think. But if no one tells you that got to be a part of the conversation.
Exactly.
I'm not going to pay you a lot.
Yeah.
Brother, hey, ain't that we talk about money?
Say again?
Instant, remember I said instant gratification. People want to wait for the return on investment.
I blame the microwave for that. They got people fucked up. They just need food.
I'm telling y'all, you better invest some money in Bitcoin because while all this chaos is going on the news, Bitcoin is at damn near $16,000 now, and nobody's talking about it on the news.
I haven't been looking at it.
Good brother Shah said that. He ain't got the good public opinion on that yet.
Yeah, I haven't been looking at Bitcoin lately, but I'm not a fan of cryptocurrency right now though. But that's all. I guess that's another. You
say your public relations ain't good right now.
Yeah, that's another episode. But But yo, just transitioning to our next topic, fatherhood. You know, when we interviewed DJ EFN, he was talking about that he got the Fatherhoods podcast, and I said to him, and I stand by it, yo. To me, being a father is one of the most is not one of the most is the most rewarding thing that I've ever done with my life, but it's also the most difficult thing that I've ever done in my life, and it comes with a lot of anxiety. You brothers are fathers also, so you already know what it is. Let's start, Zane. We'll start with Zane. Let's go around. You want to weigh in, give your opinion, Zane?
Yeah, man. Like, you know, I mean, I did a lot of craziness when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? And for me, I have three different kids. I have three kids, three baby mothers. So you dealing with three different personalities and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, huh?
He's out there slinging nuts out there, huh? You're slinging, huh? You're
swinging like Babe Ruth.
Swinging like a
you know what I'm saying?
Over there, boy. Yeah.
But you know what? But as I got older, certain things didn't. I just started to slow down. You know what I'm saying? And I think with that just played. I guess just as far as like maturing, developing, and kind of just dealing with different personalities and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And when you have three kids by three different mothers, man, that alone right there, like I said, you dealing with three different personalities. Shout out to my children's mothers, and shout out to my kids. Nice. Beautiful black queens. I got two sons and I got a daughter. My daughter's the youngest. My daughter just turned 10. My oldest son is 20, and my second son is 16.
God bless you, bro. God bless you, bro.
Yeah, but you know what it is too. I think one of the main things, like, you know, when they had like the Richard Bay show and all these different talk shows, how they project the baby mama drama and all that other stuff. Like, I mean, Maury might still be doing like up-to-date shows. I don't know, but this dude made millions upon millions off of perpetuating or showing the stigma with the black culture. And you notice they don't show Spanish people on there. They show all black people, either black or white, or it's like a black person that's dating that has a kid by a white lady, or vice versa. They don't show no Asians. They don't show no Indians.
And you think that's strategic? What to how you call it? What to like to emasculate the black father?
Of course.
You know, black man is always under attack, man.
Yeah, man.
What does a full-fledged supreme black man look like? Raising his family, business minded, all of the accolades we deserve. We have yet to see that. I think the closest might have been Mr. Huxtable, but
probably so.
Yeah, and you know what? Real quick, do you know? You'll probably know this though, but right before Bill Cosby went in, they was going to come out with a newer, update, modern version of the Cosby Show. Now, Bill Cosby was going to be the executive producer. He wasn't. He might have made maybe some cameos in it, but he wasn't going to be like actually in it again, like how he was back in the day. And I just think, like, when you have shows like that with a strong black family structure, the media don't want that picture portrayed on shows, because that.
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, the idea of a black man in his supreme role is not the image that they want, and it has a lot to deal with imagery. Having that as an imagery is something that, if we're not wise enough to take that image to ourselves and perpetuate it the way we want it, we can't allow any of our predecessors to do the same. And for me, honestly, fatherhood is the best hood to be in. I love fatherhood, man. I love being a nurturer. I love being a teacher. I love being fun-loving with my children. And to be honest with you, you know, most of my friends know this, but I don't have any physical children of my own. The women that I've dated in my life have honored me with the position of being a father to their own.
You don't have any biological children?
I don't have any biological children, but I got.
Okay.
But I have 9 daughters, my nigga.
Wow.
Every last woman that I've been involved with has given me honored me with the opportunity to be a pillar in their children's life. And to this day, even with the women that I'm not with, I'm still a pivotal piece in those girls' lives. So I have 9 daughters, and like I said, nurturing them, teaching them, being the fun-loving guy. Sometimes I felt I was a little mean, a little loud, but they respected me because I come from respect. You know, my dealing with my father when I was young, because my father, my biological father, wasn't in my life, but my stepfather stepped in and gave me the tools and the conversations needed. I never got locked up. I never went to jail. I never sold drugs, and I didn't have any children out of wedlock because I don't have any children.
Man, what about the episode you talking about with the dude, man?
What episode?
Episode back, man. What's the episode, Shannon?
I don't even know.
He said, man, I didn't take that from the store.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that story.
But yeah, no, yo, I'll say this. Like,
listen, but let me just, I'll just wrap it up, man. Being a father, like y'all already know, you can enjoy it until the kids take the fun out of it, because you're dealing with teaching them responsibility, teaching them to earn what an earning system looks like, removing laziness of children. But they're beautiful because you know that they're learning, you know that they can capture it, and that's the best part to me about being a father, is instilling the lesson and watching it grow.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. What I've learned also, I think, over the years is that a lot of times it's not only about what you say, it's that, you know, your kids watch you intently, they watch your actions and watch how you move, you know, and how you interact with your significant other.
That's right.
And, you know,
that part.
Yeah.
Is the most important part.
Yeah, because modeling what a relationship should look like for them in the future. Like, you know, like I just think like the last couple of weeks, like I've had moments where you know, with my children that make me like nostalgic. Like, you know, my oldest, he was online with me to vote. You know,
oh, that's great, man.
Online to vote, and then, you know, like I told you guys, taking my daughter, getting her first car on the phone and taking that down, and then my youngest, I just happened to be looking on YouTube and I see an old YouTube video that he created on his own 6 years.
They don't even look like him, yo.
Yeah. So, you know, how you call it, but in my eyes, they always, no matter how old they get or how bigger they get, they always look like little kids, you know. And I remember even my youngest telling me too, he was like, you know, one of the things you got to learn how to do is you got to learn how to let your kids grow up or whatever. I'll be honest with you, like that's hard for me or whatever as a protector, because I forget that, you know, with my own parents, in order for me to learn, I had to make mistakes. But now I'm in a position where I don't want to see them make no mistakes or whatever. And I just automatically make the assumption that they go through life the same way that I went through life at their age, and some of the things that I did. I'm like, I don't want them doing that stuff.
Right.
You know, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to kind of just allowing them to grow. It's like, you know, we talk about like seed, like plant, you know, like you watering that flower, watering that plant and waiting it to grow. And you got to make sure you give it the right, the right nutrients.
Right.
And model relationships and stuff like that, and just put your time and energy.
There's a lot of other influences. Like we already know, you know what that is. It's a lot of the climate of just stuff is changing, man. Yeah, the environment is changing with a lot of these different things that's going on that I don't agree with. You know, that's going on, but you know, you got to just think like, what's it going to be like 20 years from now?
Well, here's the thing, though. Like this comes up, and I always say to people also. So there's a lot of times I hear people talk about like these outside influences. Outside influences have always been involved, like even in our lives with us growing up. What has to happen is that you have to win the battle, right? So your influence has to supersede the outside influence. And to be perfectly honest with you, all the time it's not going to. You just want your kids to always to come back to that moral compass that you've instilled in them. You know, so when people start talking about like the different things, like, you know, you hear people, oh, you know, the drugs and the music, and, you know, the how sexuality is portrayed and the violence and all that stuff or whatever. You know why I don't get wrapped up in it? I don't get wrapped up in it because I feel like at the end of the day, only thing that I could do is my part to the best of my ability. I can't control the external forces that the kids are going to come in contact with in the world. I just have to have faith that I've given them enough tools to make a decision when they encounter these things. And I don't, and perfectly honest with you, I don't want to lay the responsibility of things that transpire in their life, all of that at the foot of society. Like, you know, like there are people that'll be like, you know, yeah, my kid's an asshole and he did this and he did that. You know why? Because it was those damn video games. So it was that rap music or whatever. Like,
yo,
rap music influence, movie influence, all this stuff has been around forever.
Let me tell you,
matter of us winning the war with it.
That's right. Let me tell you, my pops set me straight at age 13. He just knew. He's like, yeah, you're gonna end up on the block selling drugs. I already see it. But let me tell you this: you get caught, you're getting locked up. You want to go to jail and get raped by men? Sell some drugs. That's all. That was it. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm 13. I didn't know much about sex at 13. I wasn't one of them, you know, early guys who had all these little escapades. But at 13, I'm hearing
you just knew that wasn't what you envisioned sex to be.
Come on, men having sex with men? The fuck is going on, yo? And I gotta live through that. She said, yeah, doing 3 years, but you can be in your cell and you're hearing men every night get raped. You want to go in there for that? I was like, you know what? Anytime I got offered, yo, Rob, why don't you come to the block?
Nah, right.
And you know, I'm gonna go to the basketball court. I'm gonna go play some ball. And then as time went on, and when my friends started getting locked up, people get you come up to the block, someone's running from the cops. You just watching it go by like this, like the fuck.
Yo,
it just resonated with me different, but it was that conversation that I had with my father. Now I look back, and here it is. I got a father role, and I got daughters. I know how niggas are in the street. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I tell them square biz. This is how young boys are. This is how men are. You got a lot of creeps out here. Yo, hold your chastity, your chaste as long as you can. Keep your innocence. And I'm gonna know when that chastity is broken. Trust me, even if you don't tell me.
Did you ever get them into like martial arts or whatever, Rob?
No, but I did teach my daughters a way to protect themselves if anyone ever got close upon them, so they know what to do. Which is using their bare hands.
Yeah.
How to get somebody up off them, and that comes with, you know, being a protector and a provider. You want to make sure that when they're out in the world, they know how to handle themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our children to be stewards of society, to be society's image of what you want society to look out, and they got to go out there and they got to exercise that. So,
yeah.
Because I remember, brothers, man. I remember, like, I never been to the Greek Fest. I used to always had the intentions on going, but I always did something else. And
it was Sodom and Gomorrah on the planet.
Yeah, man. I used to hear the stories. Like, I mean, I remember one time back when I was in high school, bunch of homegirls that I was real cool with went down there, and they were saying that it was a big situation down there with dudes down there with stun guns, and they was like stunning the women down there with the stun guns and like taking advantage of them and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, man, like like
95, and I let you know it was an experience. It's not a place. If you hear your daughter say, I'm going to Greek Fest, you gotta be like, oh shit, man.
My daughter better not never tell. Well, I heard what's name was trying to bring it back this year, but that's when the COVID happened. Who was it? Jermaine Dupri and somebody else? They were trying to bring Freaknik. They gonna bring Freaknik back. I'm like, come on, bro.
Nah, they that.
Yo, but you know something? Let's see. Look at the change in the dynamics, right? Like, it's like, yo, I don't want my kid going, but you wanted to go.
I look at that like in the 60s and the 70s, our parents had Woodstock.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Freaknik was.
And yo, and right now people still go to Burning Man.
What's that?
Never heard of Burning Man? They go out in the desert. They hike all it. Yo, there are a lot of people. They got the Burning Man. That's out in the desert. It's like a it's like a huge, almost like a
chick,
like a retreat, and you know how you call it. It's me being on the outside and into that culture, it looks weird to me. Not saying it's weird, but it looks weird to me. But people go to Burning Man. Same way people go to kids now go to festivals. They go to Coachella.
Go to Coachella. Some people go to that shit called. You ever heard of hedonism?
Yeah. Zane, you heard of hedonism before.
Hedonism. What Jamaican resorts and it's
hedonism. That's usually like a Montego Bay. It's like the high call. Like
yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Zane probably be like, yo, hold up. Let me see if my flight's still on track. Yo, Zane probably like, oh shit, yo, how Rob know I booked my ticket already that he knew.
I heard about them stories, man. I have a couple of buddies that, you know, been to stuff like that particular event and things similar to that, and yeah it's crazy.
But fatherhood never stops, man. Parenting never stops.
I like how Rob brought it back around.
even when children get older, you still provide lessons. You're still giving guidance. So
yeah. Yo, I'm gonna tell you, like,
shout out to all the fathers.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something that bugs me out to this day. Like, still to this day, that I'm like, yo, when I listen to my kids be like, well, Daddy, I'll be like, I'm like, me? Daddy, you get the text from Daddy, can you Daddy? I'm like,
damn, son.
Yeah, it's just how you call it. It's odd, you know, like, but then it's things like, you know, how you call it, like, you never forget the first time your kids walk, they talk, first time they read, first time they drove a car, you know, first job they got when they graduate from school.
Milestones, man.
Man, like, yo, all that stuff sticks with you. And their accomplishments is like, you know, like, you look at it and you like, yo, all I want you to be is better. You know, you ain't got to be me. I want you to be better than me. Like, that's the benchmark. Like, yo,
that's where I come in and I need them a little much of a brain. I'm trying to brainwash them into becoming better people, man. Because I want them to see the lessons that have valued me to become who I am. But take my lessons further, yo. Go buck wild with. You know what I mean? Because I didn't get an opportunity to really fashion some of the things that were given to me, you know, because of choices that I made.
Yeah. But you know something, Rob? Yo, they are great people. They're great people in their own.
Absolutely.
Like I think I've learned that, like, over the years too, for me to just be like, you know what, like, I may have all these grand designs and plans on what they should be or what they should be doing with their life, but at the end of the day, to me, like, the most success is that, yo, they're good people. Right? Like, I don't how you call it. I don't feel like that my children are intentionally going out to try to hurt people,
right?
Or, you know, or blatantly trying to do the wrong thing.
Right.
You know, I feel like me and Tanya have given them good stock.
That's right.
And, you know, and good energy, and that, you know, how you call it, like, as long as they maximize and reach their fullest potential, you know, I'm happy with it. Guys, and you was gonna say something?
What do you guys think? Because I know in Indian tradition, it's very, very important that the parents do, like, the arranged marriages. Like, what do you guys think realistically is the percentage of the marriages that actually work out through the arranged marriages, or is it like through Indian tradition? I guess they have to, you know.
Well, when you said that, I was gonna say I think a lot of that depends on if it's here. Meaning if it's arranged here or if it's arranged in India, because I was even watching, even on 90 Day Fiance, like they have stuff like taxes for people who get you got divorced. That's gonna run you 25 racks.
What?
Yeah,
25 racks.
Yeah, 25. The dude had to just now pay 25,000 to his wife. But those arranged marriages, honestly, I don't know. I don't want to speak out of place. I don't know the data. I thought you were going to
arranged marriages were a way of life that I think we were living that way prior to being on this side of the planet or in the Western Hemisphere of America.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It was something communal.
It was group economics.
It was group.
Group economics, right?
Right
Yep.
there, son. Ended right there, son. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, it was group economics. It was
And
arranged.
they paired people together based on what they was bringing.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much, someone was a nurturer, a good teacher. Someone was good with their hands. They found a way that the two can mesh together. And before you, like you say, group economics. You got a woman doing this, a man doing this. You bring in a child. You bring a child into the planet to become a steward of society. You want them to be a participant in society. You know what I'm saying? Raise them to be respectful. Raise them, yes, ma'am, no, sir. Listen, man, that's all you ask for.
Yo, Zane, man, I tip your cap with tip my cap to you, 3 baby moms, boy.
So God bless you, bro.
Yeah. I've been fortunate. I've been blessed. You know how you call it? Me and Tanya, as Rob refers to as LT.
y'all as parents, I love how y'all
No,
with your children.
I remember way back. Shannon probably don't remember this, Rob, but I remember when Shannon first met Tanya. He told me, I think I might have been out there for the summertime and we was having a talk and you said that she's the one.
I don't know.
You told me that a long time ago.
If I did, I was right. If I did, I was right.
He told me a long time ago.
Yeah,
He probably don't even remember that. I came to visit him for a couple of days for the summer.
You met her in Truman?
Yeah. In Truman. Yeah. Truman High, boy. The product of Truman High, boy. My daughter sent me and Tanya a picture one day, and it had a picture of Truman, and she was like, "I'm gonna tell my kids this was Rikers Island."
Yeah, what's the situation up there briefly? Like, is that COVID stuff spiking up or what?
That's what I
I'm
heard.
thinking, like, yo, after all these people been in these goddamn at these poll centers and all that, yo, them numbers is going up crazy. And you know what it is though? Like being that, remember they were saying it's like way back in like April or whatever. That was one of the major reasons why they knew elections was coming, and they knew this stuff. That's one of the major factors how they knew it was gonna go up in, during the fall season. Election, one of the biggest elections ever.
Check this out. We're gonna have another spinoff, No Ideas Original podcast, Conspiracy Hour with Zane.
I'll be a part of that. I'll bring some
oh man, I got so much stuff I could talk about on there.
Believe it or not.
Yo, a lot of conspiracy theories are starting to show some truth in them, man.
Yeah, man.
You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say.
Yeah, no, you're not lying about that. I don't know if you ever read it. Have either one of you ever read Behold a Pale Horse?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, by Robert Greene. Robert Greene wrote the 48 Laws of Power.
Robert Williams.
Robert Williams is the comedian.
Robert something. No, it was Robert. It was, I can't remember, but yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yo, that book.
William Cooper, you right? William Cooper.
That book was illegal in jails, yo. They didn't want inmates reading that shit.
Yo, I read it in probably a day. I gave that joint to one of my uncles to read. Yo, he came back to me in like 2 days with like a freaking summary, like, yo, because in chapter 4, when he said, and I remember because I was stationed out in New Mexico, I could tell you everything about Roswell. Yo, me and him must have that book for God only knows how long.
When I drove to California, and I read that book. When I drove to California, driving through New Mexico, it made me think about that book because when I was driving through there, as soon as we driving out of the state line of Texas into New Mexico, yo, we had no radio waves. We're trying to find a radio station to listen to music, and the speedometer just kept spinning. The shit would not stop, and I'm like, "What? Are we getting abducted?" I was bugging out. Like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Why can't I hear no radio?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's the weirdest experience in my life. But out there, because of UFO sightings and other sightings, they don't have no radio waves, so it doesn't interfere with the waves that they're using to contact any extraterrestrial life form. So
yeah. For those who haven't, and they into conspiracies, Behold the Pale Horse. William Cooper, Behold the Pale Horse. Very, very good book. Yo, so that's it for tonight's show. Any parting words? Damn, Rob. Next week when we get up next week, you're gonna be in another location, right?
New location come next Friday.
Dope.
Well, actually, whatever we do next Friday, I should be in Mount Vernon. I might be doing it from Edible Treats.
Live on location from Edible Treats.
Live from location from Edible Treats next Friday. So we'll see, man.
Everybody have a good weekend. We'll catch everybody next week. Peace, everybody.
Right. Peace.
Adios.